Hello everyone, my name is Meenakshi and I'm making a presentation on the current assignment 3 event-driven assignment where I'll be discussing about validating GUI display, FRP stream processing, event filtering and distance calculation. Overall of test coverage, range filtering, distance calculation, event display, windowing and multiple tracker handling. So the main class in this project explorer is GPS GUI .java. When I click on run button, this will open the GUI as expected. So the main components are GUI component and sodium FRP integration, core logic classes. So coming to GUI components, it will display latitude and longitude for 10 trackers numbered 0 to 9, distant panels showing the distance in meters traveled by each tracker, and range input panel showing latitude, longitude, and scale to filter the events. In range event panel, you could be seeing the scrollable text area showing the live events matching the current filter. So as I click on start here, as I mentioned at the start, you can see like as soon as it started, you could see that every distance is like zero only at the merging. So coming to sodium FRP integration, we'll be using GPS event streams and stream merging range cell where multiple stream represent GPS potential events from trackers. For stream merging, as I mentioned, all trackers stream into a single stream for processing, and range cell where current latitude longitude range held reactively, and filtered stream where GPS events based on the current range, and reactive listeners update UI labels and event display areas dimensionally. So coming to the models as latitude, longitude, we have these boxes with delta for filtering, and the distance window which we have here would calculate and accumulate the distance traveled per tracker. So here we can, as I go and explain with the first scenario, my first test case is when the latitude and longitude show empty placeholders, all distance at the start, as you can see, has started showing the distance with 0. So as this is the first scenario which I wanted to prove, like as soon as you open and when I not given any latitude and longitude data, so you can see at the start the distance label shows 0. Let me rerun this once again to prove that analysis. As you can see now, it is 0 as I haven't given anything. With time, when we set some, with time, it will provide the trackers which are provided in the in-range event. Once they're provided, the distance will automatically get calculated. This is the second scenario. In the third scenario, I will be providing some values in the latitude, longitude, and the scale section where 39.9, and here I'll be providing 116.3, 0.7, and I click on set range. You can see all the data in the in range event have been cleared, and whichever fall under the scale of latitude, longitude, all those informations will be shown. So all distance value would have been reset to 0 once I clicked on set range, and then the tracker position and new filtered in range event begin updating according to the new range which I have given. So this proves the scenario which I wanted to explain you. In coming to the next scenario, where I give a range, suppose 7.7 and 100 and 1.62 here, and click on set range. It will clear all the previous data and set the all distance back to 0. Once it's set back to 0, let's wait for some time until it filters some data. Like if suppose something falls under this category, let me increase the scale maybe. So I can get the in-range event for tracker 4 should be captured here and then would be visible in in-range event, and the only distance for tracker 4 would be incremented in the following scenario. So let me just see, as you can see that in-range events has captured tracker 4, and you can see the distance for that particular scenario has been updated. Now I only give 0 and 0, and I click on set range. You can see that the lat longitude and the scale value would have changed, and even the distance has been changed to 0. This is one of the scenario, and in range events have been cleared as there are no latitude longitude which fall under this particular range. Moving to another scenario where I put an invalid set range. So here we can see it is giving invalid input where I have only given dash, where we have to give some value which is like falls under this category. Once when we do not provide anything as such, it will not show anything. Suppose if I 8 6 and 115, and if I click on set range, it should only show tracker 7 because it falls under this particular range. So only tracker 7 data will be incremented. As I increase this range, you could see the tracker, even though I increase the range, you can see the distance was previously 80. Even though after changing the scale and I click on set range, still the distance has incremented. It should not decrement. So here the distance has been only incremented. So now if I change this to 39 to 116 and I click on change, here you can see the distance has been calculated. The distance only gets incremented, whereas it doesn't get incremented. Even though if I change the range or any latitude or longitude value, you could see that whichever falls under those particular categories, the value will only be incremented. So you can see the tracker 5, previously the tracker 1 value was like in single digits. Right now when I clicked on set range, the distance has been incremented. You could see that in this following scenario. So let me next discuss about the FRP scenarios. These are few common scenarios which I wanted to show. So coming to the next scenarios, where I have provided some test suits using GPS test filter, GPS GUI test, distance window test, and range test, where they validate, where coming to the distance window, here what it is validating is only accumulates distance when new points are added, and when points are the same, and supports reset and symmetry of calculation. So if I once run and show you, then you'll get an understanding. So here it is only accumulates the distance when new points are added, never when points are in the same, and support reset and symmetry of calculation. This is about the distance window. Coming to the range test. Let me execute and show it to you. This includes correct bounds, checking for points, negative coordinates, and edge case handling. Coming to GPS GUI test, where it performs integration level validation for both UI and underlying logics, ensuring GUI filters and displays and resets work with live and edge case scenarios. So I have done few scenarios in this as well. And coming to GPS filter, here also I have validated few scenarios where it will give the event match data if there is no match data, or inside the latitude longitude, so it will give the data based on that. So high frequency updates would be shown. Only in range trackers accumulate, and increments the distance never decrements or updating for out of range trackers. So to the GUPS, this also I'll execute and show you where uh, it will show the data related to the range inside outside based on the value and range. So this is all from GPS filter test. Extreme stream sync and cell for propagation of values, events, and holding the current state of the range state, hold function. So let me show you that. So as you can see here in listen, you can see here it updates the trackers as per the real-time event stream. And there's another called snapshot. These are few snapshot, filter, and map. Like these are building a dynamic filter transformed event streams reflecting only the event tracker currently inside the user defined range. So we use these on the user defined range filter as well. It will only filter the data within that particular range, and even coming to the map, it's the same as well. Then coming to hold. So hold, it is used to store reactive updates and active range filter value. So this is why I have used them. Then how FRP patterns are met, it is based on reactivity, consistency, and coming to reactivity, all tracker coordinate and distance update as well as event history filtering are connected via the FRP stream that automatically propagates changes. No manual polling or UI refresh polls needed. Consistency, challenging the range filter triggers the corresponding UI resets and enables distance accumulation in real time with no stale data left after state transition. So coming to the data flow, the logic mapping, raw GPS input to filtered event stream, and ultimately to UI is described declaratively using string which sodium manages reactively. So yeah, this is all from my end. So